less loud since we're not seeing the chest guns sombrero thing. What's on the side here? Marius. Kristen? Why does Diablo have Marius on his arm?
Marius.
M-A-R-I-U-S.
The old vagrant. He's the one that followed Diablo.
Oh, really?
Marius, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Marius.
Who gave the soul stone over at the end because he thought.
That's right, Marius.
Evil was.
Yeah, because he
Ariel.
got all confused with was it Baal No, Belial? No, Baal. Baal standing in the light. He's like, yes, I recognize you. And he's like, Marius, you have blah blah on your blah blah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And question for you, will this be gem only? How do you get these skins?
I don't know. The event's not up. Though, actually, the main screen's been changed around quite a bit. It looks like when they went in and did the Dark Nexus event, they actually redid a lot of the kind of ground graphics. And even the custom game screen is redone as well. So there's a lot of updates in this thing that seem to be only half turned on. And I'll be curious to know what the rest of them are. Man, that looks inconvenient to have bones coming out all your knuckles and stuff, but be good for punching, wouldn't it? Yep, well, he's horrifying flesh-colored. That's for sure. I like the twos, though. Twos are pretty good. Well, shall we dive in? Let's dive in to a frightening rework. I guess let's go ahead and grab the sheet because it is a little confusing. Everything got moved around a little bit. But I should know most of these by heart. Problem is, when we go, it's the same spec. It's been the same spec for so long that I know my talents by heart, but there's a couple that I just don't read because we haven't had need of them. And lots of stuff happening with him. But I just want to see, first and foremost... Okay, here we go. Base stat changes that we won't be able to get a hold of in-game as easily. So we have El Diablo here. Black Soulstone trait, maximum health gain per soul reduced by a bit. Boy, that's tragic. Lose armor and health in the same go? That doesn't line up correctly. Shadow charge, range, increased. Okay, so that was a 8.5. 8.5. How did we do in, was it from the shadows charge? Muy bueno, my friend Packet. 6 months, thanks for subbing, man. Good to see you. How much range did we get on from the shadows? A 40% increase. And I guess the old text didn't actually tell us what the range was. That's something I'd like to know, of course. There's been a lot of... Oh, so 2.8. Nice. Thank you for the numbers, Lord Boo. Cool. So we have decreased in total, but we baked in. Now, we lost the armor. Mana cost increased. It's odd. We haven't had a mana cost increase in a long time in this video game. Damage reduced. Oof. Terrain collision damage reduced. Oof. 30. No longer grants armor. Movement speed by 15% for 2 seconds. All right, you guys know that I like Speed Demon, which is a 30%. No! 30. Ah, the bacon's kind of lame. What do we got? 5 seconds of 30% movement speed on my Speed Demon, down to 15% for 2 seconds as a baked in. Oh, ouch. That 30% is what helped me escape from a lot of stuff, like the Johanna Clog and get out of range of Garrosh throws and all sorts of other stuff. Only going 10% decreased movement speed against Garrosh once he stuns you and goes for the throw. Ooh. And that's why I'm running Diablo, is to stop the Garroshes. Okay. There's a lot of this. Now unleashes fire waves. This is some great PR language, because throughout all the videos and all the posts, they've been like, blast your enemies with shotgun-like power. And I'm like, but it went all directions, and now it's going in a cone. This isn't an upgrade. This is a nerf, right? I mean, well, we should probably test. I don't know if they actually changed the nature of how Flame Stomp works. There are additions to it that we lost total health and armor. Now unleashes fire waves in a large cone in the current direction rather than 360. Number of fire waves is reduced from 8 to 5. Sure, that's fine. That's all fine and dandy. Multiple fire waves can hit the same target. Cooldown increase. There's lots of ways to reset it now. Mana cost reduced. There's lots of ways to reset it now, so that's all good and dandy as well. Return fire waves. Damage reduced. Damage reduced. 12. Because we get healing back for 125. 12 damage. Now displays as a crit. Okay. Whew. So, as I've said before, the real power of Flame Stomp was that it was mostly useless. And by being mostly useless, it meant it was great for scouting and lane clear. Now it has all sorts of other doodads to it. So I want to see. Okay, well, I got a nice little arrow display. Oh. Why did I shift sideways? I guess because my mouse? Oh, my mouse. So this is my current radius, but it's casting based on my mouse, which is actually located off to the side. That makes sense. All right, now actually looking at the numbers. Okay, there's a lot of little 12s, so that's satisfying. At least, yes. Mini 12s. Good. Good. And then on the way back, nice. So lots of little 37s. But we are now hitting multiple times rather than just once per pass. So I guess you actually do quite a bit more damage than on the person you're locked on to. 16s? 47s? Not a huge amount of health. I mean, you're kind of looking at like a Lion's Fang sort of situation. Once they reach maximum range, return, dealing additional damage, heals, dealt to heroes. Only heroes, so we're not going to be rocking our health back up with a lane. But let's get a lane out here and see how the lane clear is. Wasn't great before. There was a bit more of a tactic to getting into the back lane and then moving so that you drag those flames across the whole lane. Which I guess isn't as important as much anymore. Whew, this feels quite a bit slower. And my cooldown went to 8 seconds. All hearsay, though. Because in this case, I'm usually just grabbing an orb for my Devil's Due, which still exists. And then running off to another lane and letting the rest of it clean itself up.
Alright, here's a thing for you. Redbird Menace is saying, so now Flame Stomp is just a self-heal, basically?
I mean, we're going to do a bit of damage with it, but we're not lane clearing very fast. It'll help out. It still gives sight, so it's got that going. It's going to be part of your burst. They're power pieing it. They're adding multiple hits so that we can get that regeneration on heroes and drag it across them for an effect. And that's how it was originally when Diablo came out, is we used to drag these flames, and you used to do like this. You would drag that, and then you'd run the other direction so that as they all came together in a ball, they would all hit one hero passing through. And it was a great way to get a bunch of damage. So you'd have this really kind of silly... You had no armor at the time, but you'd throw out fire, and then you sort of back it up, see if you could get a really good hit, and then hit it again afterwards. So they're definitely bringing back that play style. They don't want him to be as support dependent, and if we're healing ourselves more often, it feels like that's what they wanted to do with the self-regeneration in the past. And all those towns, we just ignore them and went range and armor and everything else like that. So they're trying to alleviate the support load of running a Diablo, which can ultimately open up Diablo to more heroes. So you don't want to run Lucio Diablo so much because if Diablo's health gets too low, Lucio's not going to be able to get it up. You have to run Stukov Diablo, but Stukov's been getting nerfed, so they're opening up more options. Oof. All right. Again, tough to have perspective here, but it definitely feels like a pretty big nerf in that department. Let's continue. Overpower. Mana cost reduced. That's because we're resetting overpowers, and that's 16. I saw you can get a second charge of overpower. And Lightning Breath, range increased by 1.5. Each tick of Lightning Breath's damage now slows for 5% for 2 seconds, maximum of 50%. Well, we just gotta dive straight for that guy, don't we? And feel that out. I guess Apocalypse unchanged. It does have a new level 20 interaction. Let's just do things that look semi-familiar. Oh, nope, we're already off the map. Sure, Diabolic Momentum, Lightning Breath. All right, it's gonna be a little, there we go, hidden by the show commands. But we got 100% movement speed. Cool. At level 20,
choose a talent. Choose a talent.
We can increase the duration
Choose a talent.
by 200%. But we'll still reach that maximum pretty quick, I assume. I want to hear more of the song. I'm glad there's more song. So it appears to be a whole different song. Alright, well, 50% slow is pretty decent. I mean, we're level 30, doing level 30 damage, so not much to read into there. Let's go back, turn back the clock, and have a look at the level-to-level talents. Feast on Fear. Stunning an enemy hero with Shadow Charge or Overpower heals Diablo for 15% of his maximum health over 4 seconds. Okay. Let's... Now I have movement speed. Okay. I've lost some health. And all I gotta do is stun an enemy. So an Overpower should do that because that stuns midair. Cool. Oh? Did I ruin my own heal? 4 seconds. Why didn't it get bigger? Let's take more damage. That'd be silly if they didn't stack. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh. Well, happens to everybody.
Terror stalks your world.
I still want to know, though. So we gotta go back in there. Come on. There we go. I guess I can actually... Ooh. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. I've been playing Diablo for so long, not caring where my mouse is when I hit W. Oh, gross. Oh, that's gross. Okay. All right. For science. Well, that didn't stun, so I don't get any health. That explains what happened earlier. Oh, well, he resets too fast. But here, we'll get him on the wall. Okay. I'm still healing for 100 for 4 times. I'm not increasing my health. I'm only increasing the duration. Oh no! Over 4 seconds. So Feast on Fear doesn't stack with itself. So I guess then I would only want to run this if I was not planning on doing pile-on stuns. If I was planning to do rather casual stuns. Or maybe if I'm more of a solo tank peeler and I have to constantly use my overpowers to peel people off and create body blocks, and now I've protected Jaina hiding there, and then I just want to disconnect Butcher from somebody, but I'm not really concerned about actually hitting walls. I get, you know, actually I guess that's not the worst idea in the world. But it's okay. I guess so. Yeah. It's okay. Looks like we did fart off there. Welcome back, everybody. Give yourself a refresh. Well, of course, you can't hear that unless you've already refreshed, so welcome back, everybody. Not sure what happened there. We shall continue. It seems to be unstackable. So if that was missed, we can do it again. The music makes it viable. I agree. Oh, wait, we're not missing health now. Oh, it's gonna take so much work. I don't know if I want to do all that work. Honestly, that's actually a really big amount of things, and I've wanted to learn Garrosh and maybe play some Johanna and change things up a little bit. So there's one, and I'm healing for 100, and if I just keep slamming, all we're doing... I mean, I do get... It looks like I get 100 on Connect, so I am increasing the speed at which I am healing. rather than having to wait that extra second. But all I'm doing is resetting the duration. I'm not creating 200s or multi-heals running underneath it. So, that's tough to say. That's tough to say. What else, though? Devil's Due, of course, is unchanged. Stat-wise, anyway. Yep. So, unchanged there. Feast on Fear. And Soul Shield, which is pretty scary. Soul Shield. Activate to gain 25 armor plus 50% of Diablo's current souls as spell armor. Okay, so this is all spell armor for 4 seconds. Every time Diablo damages an enemy hero, reduce the cooldown by 1 second. So it should be spammable, right? It's so sad. It's... I get it. Like, introduce counterplay, make it harder to use. Now there can be things that Diablos can mess up on, and they won't constantly have one of the best spell shields in the game. But, you know, Bummer City, right? I guess. So, I'm gonna get some spell armor. Oh, I guess I should reset my cooldowns. Because I know this thing's going to be available all the time. Whenever I damage a hero, right? Any damage to any hero. So I activate it. It's 60 seconds, but I'm slapping this guy. I put out some flames. Look at that thing go. Oh, yeah, just all the resets in the world, right? It's only heroes. Only heroes. So, you know, we're getting lots of resets. That's nice. But... And we're going to get there pretty soon, particularly if I spec into doing more flame stomps. We'll keep getting spell shields, but man, that's a big change. I guess there's something else now at level 7. So this would be your solo peeling, maybe. Not so concerned about getting sweet stuns and blowing up the enemy. Devil's Due is your I'm under supported. I have my Brightwing heals. I have those healers that require me to do Devil's Due. And we would still do Devil's Due so Stukov wasn't such a busy man taking care of my massive health pool. So Soul Shield is more of like a flame stompy thing because we have to hit multiple people all the time, actually. Soul Shield, are you activatable during Lightning Breath?
Choose a talent.
And if you are, does each of those ticks decrease your cooldown? And can I activate a second time if need be? There's a Rogue Arthas one around out there. All right. So this is all damage. So I have a spell shield during most of the lightning breath. I come out of it on the other side, probably doing a flame stomp or something, staying aggressive, and get myself another 4 seconds of, well, I don't have many souls. So let's say I complete my quests. So 75 spell armor. That is nice. That is nice. That is a lot of armor. A lot of armor. What is under my feet? Does this mean I am ready to die? I guess so. No, I can't activate it while I'm lightning breathing. Well, this guy likes to kill me, so let's let him. Actually, he's not too good at it. But I am level 10 now. It's gonna take him a little bit. And I should res instantly, I assume, without a sweet little Diablo graphic under my feet. You can do it. One more. Cool. Broken. And now I appear. Cool. And then I complete my quest. And I have it under my feet. Well, you know, that's kind of nice. So visually, I am communicating with the rest of my team that I have a res. Can I ping it yet? I'm ready to use Black Soulstone. That's as it was. We should go die faster. Can I still target buildings? No, that's good. I guess I should make sure if I'm trying to die, I'm not hitting heroes.
Rise again and take your revenge, hero.
Okay. No, it still says I'm ready. I'm still ready. But I'm not ready. I have no souls. The cooldown's ready, but it doesn't do anything. Here. I mean, actually, that looked pretty cool with the little flame interaction there. Okay. Well, there's diversity, and you can see it coming down the line, and it definitely feels like we might be running some different specs, and then we're able to fill more roles. We're just not killing poor Gary in the late game like we were. So, Devil's Due, like it was, Sacrificial Soul. Stunning a hero with Shadow Charge grants 5 souls, 15 armor for 4 seconds, while at 100 souls, increases to 30 armor. Cool. So we went from 25 armor to 30 armor with souls completed, so we don't want to lose our souls that we're doing this. No way we got souls here, so unrelated. 5 souls for stunning. Okay. Not the most reliable thing in the world, but later on we could get lots of souls that way. Fire Stomp grants 1 soul every 3 times it damages an enemy, and heals for an additional 1.25 of its damage dealt per soul. What are we at? Oh, heals for 125. So we're not cranking that number. But let's try it. Let's take some damage. And we'll get in pretty position. Now we don't have any bonus souls, but I guess I will get to see a healing number. So 18, 54. 35, 35, 96. 96 is a good number. I like 96. Now we're getting souls. I guess I gotta ditch my souls again to really feel that. And how many I got per go there. Life Leech. Diablo gains 1 soul and heals for 1.5 of his maximum health when basic attacking an enemy hero. While at 100 souls, increase this healing to 3% of maximum health. 3% is a good number for a giant killer, a level 4 giant killer at that. But staying connected, actually that graphic was pretty sweet with the little stone there that was going down. Maybe that's always been there. You just don't get to auto attack a lot because you got a lot of important spells to cast. Even these will ruin your spells. So 1 cast nets me about 4 souls, which is more reliable than 5, but can I make this bigger by positioning stronger? I got 5 that time. If I drag him back, 4 that time. Let's see from over here. $17 to $22, so we got 5 again. So this is 4 heroes. So a team fight with Zagar in the top, you're gonna net yourself about 4 souls. I mean, you still don't have to go off and farm a lane, right? So that's good news. Let's try this.
Choose a talent.
Life Leech, 1 soul per auto attack. Well, I mean, if you're a fan of Nazebo, you'll find that satisfying. Al, good to see you. Welcome back 2 months in a row. It's a good midday. It's a beautiful day here. Hope you're having a good one. And Dion, thank you for 300 bits. Welcome back, man. Hope you had green pastures wherever you were off to. If you're playing a different game, let me know. I'm enjoying myself some Pillars right now. That's been good. Good nighttime, like, reading game. Combo book. So we're making souls. We're getting dings. We're doing bonus damage. But I think that's just my auto attack there at 123. 123. Looks like these guys don't actually have the health percent with them. So let's go smack Arthas. Blocked, 37. Blocked, 37. So that should be our full attack. He's got physical armor too with the block. So 1, 1, 1, and a little mini 37 in there, hiding in the back. Well, you certainly wouldn't want to go toe-to-toe. No saying if Arthas is doing... No, he's not doing attack speed decrease counts or anything like that. Well, Arthas wins that matchup, but he's always been a little better in the solo lane. Yeah, what are you going to do? Grab it against Cho'Gall? I mean, how many times do you really just get to go toe-to-toe? Plus, you would want a soul shield into Cho'Gall, which means you're not hitting maybe enough heroes to actually be activating that all the time. I guess you wouldn't want to go Souls of the Flame because you're not going to hit Cho'Gall that many times anyway. So Life Leech may actually be the best when compared with these other two in that situation. A 56 heal isn't too bad either. And I mean, these souls are adding up. They're increasing my maximum health. And when I get to maximum souls, I'm going to get 3%. And that'll actually be a pretty decent amount of damage. So what, we were doing 37 earlier against old Artie Farts out here. Gotta get through that block. There it is. 3%. 37? Those are the same numbers. Block 37. Oh, that's the block amount. Hold up. Hold up. 1 soul. Oh, I'm healing myself. I'm not doing giant killers at all. No. Heal for myself. Ah, I'm seduced by the old way that I was healed for a percent of their health. No, this is entirely based on my health, and all I do is heal my health by 3%. Well, I mean, if I have more health, I heal more. That's not a bad deal. Interesting. Wow, he's really gone tank. Christopher, thank you for the sub. It is beautiful. It's a beautiful announcer. Sadly, it's not in because it's part of the quest, so we're not getting to play with it today. Not getting to mess with that guy. But it is fantastic. And I love the cheering, too. I mean, that's been a great... Ever since Hearthstone came out, it was a great feature of that game as well. I think we've needed cheering. And we had it in the brawls, right? So the arena brawls that we get, those have cheering in it. I think it's a good feature. I think people like hearing cheers when they do cool stuff. And even if it's not that cool, even if you're just dropping a 7-7 on the board, I like hearing that cheer in Hearthstone. Well, now that I solved my own puzzle that I confused myself with, let's move on. So, all pretty much tank talents.
Choose a talent. Choose a talent.
So,
Choose a talent.
souls to the flame because I want more. So, I like armor. Who doesn't like armor? I guess it really depends if I'm planning to die in the late game. So, let's say that I'm never going to die because I heal more for the souls I have. And I'm going to get armor because I'm at maximum souls. I will never die because I'm amazing. Eternal Flames. When Diablo stuns an enemy hero with Shadow Charge or Overpower, reset the cooldown of Fire Stomp. Okay, cool. Sounds good. So, I hit people, and then I pick them up so I can hit them again. And then I haven't been updated, so this isn't free. I still got to animate on it. The good news is they've made it pretty tight. It doesn't look like I don't have to reprioritize my auto attack back, and it doesn't look like I have to ruin any extended spell animation. So that's good. Alright, so I slam, I hit this guy, I'm gonna be like, yeah, backline. Be like, whoa, backline. I mean, we're hitting multiple people here, but that's a pretty good amount of damage. And I would want to combo this with more healing and more souls, so maybe that's more of my Apocalypse Suicide playstyle that I like. Get a bunch of souls back fast during team fights. That does sound good. Yeah, so that's not the combo I'm looking for in my never die idea here. That's more of like I'm planning to hit them a billion times, and I want to heal a bunch for it, and I'd like to, you know, get souls while I do it. How many souls can I get in a kind of... $5 for that whole thing? I guess that's pretty poorly optimized. Let's let him respawn back. We'll manhandle this guy here. So if I slam. Okay, and we'll reposition that like that. Oh, that wasn't a stun. I have to get a stun for it to happen. Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess that actually, in a lot of cases, won't equal too much bonus damage and too many souls, but we're really kind of doing tank sustain damage now. Looks like they're moving me away from just surviving the early game and going for late game burst. I mean, that's healthy. That is healthy. Okay.
Choose a talent.
Never dying. Never dying because I'm a cool guy. Malevolence. Basic abilities cause Diablo's next basic attack within 6 seconds to deal an additional 132 spell damage. Stores up to 2 charges. Basic ability. Oh, because I'm gonna combo and I might not put out an auto attack at times. So they're like, don't worry, man, I got your back. It's Malevolence, right? So they're right on top of each other there, but Basic abilities. Oh, and I can't stack the resets. Just using them, not hitting them. So if I were to do this real fast, like a 1, 2, then I have 1 and 2 auto attacks at that increased number. I mean, it's basically a double damage hit. So more focus fire over more AoE. Unrelated to the number of souls I have, so I guess it's not what we're looking for in the Never Die Awesome build.
Choose a talent.
Diabolic Momentum. When Diablo's basic attack damage, reduce the cooldown of basic abilities. Wait, hang on. We already had this, but didn't we go through a bunch of work because we were having issues with Diablo having too much lane clear? Or too much damage? Why did we stop? Diabolic Momentum. Basic attacks reduce the cooldown of Overpower and Shadow Charge by 1.5 seconds. What's the new one? Oh, it's cut in half. But it now includes the Flame Stomp. Okay. I see. I still don't think there's going to be a lot of situation. But then again, if our damage is decreased, Diablo's not going to be targeted like he currently is. Because when Diablo gets out of position, everybody kills Diablo because Diablo's a big deal. If Diablo's doing more like Johanna kind of survivability and taking care of himself, maybe like a Varian, we may go to try to kill other people first, and it's Diablo's job to make sure he still has cooldowns and he can peel for his allies. So in that way, I guess maybe we will. Kind of like my Uther gets to make a bunch of stupid auto attacks all the time because nobody's looking at Uther's auto attacks. Nobody cares about Uther's auto attacks. They're just happening. They're small. It doesn't matter. So maybe I actually will get a lot of these. I mean, it's everything, so, you know, as long as I'm blowing stuff up, and those would be my resets, get me more armor, right? Yeah, that's yeah. So that would be my best way to stay alive, is to make sure I'm stunning as often as possible. Could I combo that with... No, I still got Devil's Due for my Never Die. Stunning enemy heroes. So this is actually unrelated to my souls entirely. Okay. Okay. I think we're getting somewhere now. We're finding a no souls required build, perhaps, or at least a late game throw it all into the fires of Sildor kind of talent thing. So I don't need Lightning Breath because I don't have Spell Shield, so I guess I can still Apocalypse with that. Here's the bad news. Devastate Charge. Increase Shadow Charge terrain collision damage by 100%. Neat. Each time an enemy hero takes terrain collision bonus damage, increase this bonus by 15% to a maximum 75. So no more giant killer damage for old Diablo. Gosh, and we were doing 15% of a total hero's amount of health. What did we decrease the number by? I mean, we're here at level 13, so we're a little deep to get a pure understanding. Shadow Charge. So damage reduce. Okay, so we actually doubled the damage. We're actually doing more base damage, at least outside of our percent base. It's not like you need percent base to go blow up a Jaina against a wall somewhere or anything like that.
My victory is assured.
400's a decent hit. That's a good amount of damage, so we are hitting for more. Which means I'm not making a big targeting switch. 430, that makes sense, because we're going up per level. And how many of these do... Is it just 5? And then I'm done. And at 550. As opposed to the previously known 200? Oh. Well, that's a good amount of damage, isn't it?
Choose a talent.
Going from 200 to 550? I don't think that's bad at all.
Choose a talent.
Cruelty. Stunning an enemy with Shadow Charge or Overpower increases Diablo's attack speed by 50% for 5 seconds up to 100%. Oh, because it stacks twice. Because if I were to do a combo... Oh, okay. But I gotta do it, right? I gotta stun an enemy. Okay, he's going. Where do I have... What? How long? 5 seconds? I guess I don't have a reference point. But if I were to do it twice... Well, he's very excited. I guess that would be a pretty good heal. And with that being at 13, I guess we have to declare there is a auto-attack build. Just losing some health.
Choose a talent.
Auto attacks, huh? I guess none of these really relate to auto attacks, but we're going to be getting souls. I guess if I'm attacking faster, that would mean more soul shields, perhaps. Then I do life leech, and I'm attacking speed. Attack speed, that doesn't matter. This is burst damage. So I want diabolic momentum into cruelty. All right, so here I am. 1. Yep. Yep, well, little baby heals. Let's stack it. Do I decrease to 50 first? I do. Okay. It's kind of tough to tell how they're overlapping, but they're both going for 5 seconds, which is why we have about that 2.5 of the half speed on the other side. On 30 attacks, I got myself full health. Or less. Okay. Maybe, right? Maybe. I mean, when do you get to attack that long? And it doesn't, it only works on heroes, right? Yeah, we're only working on heroes. Enemy heroes. So we can't just burn a Battlefield of Eternity or something and get healed up off of that, Butcher style. And plus his mark doesn't refresh, so we've got a lot of kind of hero-specific abilities in the game. Each enemy hero hit by Flame Stomp grants 2% spell power for 10 seconds. So a damage AoE build? I'm going to get spell power? I guess it's marked here. Wait. A maximum of 30. What? Oh. What? Oh, that's my soul generator. Oh. Wait, is my soul... My soul generator keeps track of how many 3s I've hit? And then resets itself because it's at 2 and then connects back to a 0? What a... Why would I want to know that? I'm not going to ever act on that information. No one's going to ever act on that information. It's not going to change... Oh, wait, it did keep a 2, actually. Oh, so it did keep a 2. So it kept a 1. Oh, okay, so it carries over. All right, well then I guess it's decent information. So I've hit 15... So I'm at 30% spell power, which I guess without Devastate Charge, what would that put my charge at? I was doing 200? So 260? With an extra 30% spell power, that makes sense. 30 damage per 100 that I deal. Okay, so what's my spam? So that's, again, kind of a soul shieldy sort of thing. With more souls, with eternal flames, and hellfire. Basically that. Got 7 souls out of that business. But I did get my spell power, which helps. How long do you last? 10 seconds. Okay, hang on then. So what if we said that this is not so much that, because we're going to get targeted when we Lightning Breath. What if I did Souls and Eternal Flame and Lightning Breath and then Hellfire? And in that sort of situation, right, because I'm not getting any resets, right? No, I do get resets when I stun. Huh. How would that logic work? I guess I would have to go in, throw out this, see if I can get to... Oh, I got to 13 off a single one. So I don't need resets. I could do something else. Interesting. All right. That doesn't matter. What I really want to know is then I activate Spell Shield, and then I go into a Flame Breath while I'm dealing increased damage. Let's let that fade. So we were doing what? 108 ago? 83? I mean, that's a pretty big damage increase. 30% more damage. Okay. Sure. Sure. So let's see if at 16, if we can expand upon that idea and put a cool cap on it. But for now, not dying, I'm awesome. Nobody dies today. I guess this is unrelated to death and souls, so I'll do Devastate Charge. Domination, casting overpower, resets the cooldown of Shadow Charge. Sweet. As it was, and that would mean more flames, right? Overpower resets the cooldown of Shadow Charge. No, because I only get a reset on flames whenever I make a stun happen. So that actually isn't guaranteed. So this is more my Devastate Charge classic playstyle. Debilitating Flames. Enemy heroes hit by Flame Stomp are slowed by 5% for 4 seconds, up to 50%. Heroes slowed by 25% or more deal 50% less damage. Okay. Overpowering Nightmare. Gain 2 charges overpower with a 2-second cooldown between each use. So that'd be my guaranteed way to get the max out of Eternal Flames without having to worry about hitting walls. So here's my no death playstyle, which is basically a sort of reallocated Power Pie version of what I was already playing, and then we'll throw a Hellgate on it. So classic Diablo, busting up some people late game, but not necessarily retargeting tanks later on, and some great control and all that playstyle I already know. So that's solid, other than my Flame Stomps, which I'm going to have to remember to aim now. What happens then if...
Kyle.
Yes.
Clarification from you, from Mexi Yatra. The W count thing that was 1 or 2 or 3. Could you explain that?
Yeah, I got a little lost in it too. Basically what it was taking care of and notifying was that Firestomp grants 1 soul for every 3 times it hits an enemy hero, and heals for an additional amount unrelated to the number of hits. This is just showing me in the bottom here that if I do not complete the 3 hits, I didn't waste my soul. I didn't waste my hits. So getting... There's 3 hits, but I only got 1 hit in that go, so I've got 1 sitting here for my next. I only have to get 2. I have that soul already. And I use it again, so I get another soul. So I don't have to hit 3 every time, and then I just reset and don't get any souls at all. It does stack for the next go. And that's important, because otherwise we'd have to hit people every time, and this talent would have a lot less viability. Now, we're going to see what Debilitating Flames does. So we've got Eternal Flame. I guess we're going to do Lightning Breath with this because we're going to do Hellfire for the spell power. Enemy heroes hit by Flame Stomp are slowed by 5%. Okay? So they have a slow graphic spinning around them. How long? They have drippies indicating that they are doing reduced damage for 4 seconds up to 50. There it is. Spell power modification, 50%. This is a spell power modification. Damage and healing done by abilities. Heroes slowed by 25% or more by Debilitating Flames deal 50% less damage. So we should be able to assume then that this is an auto attack decrease as well. Even though it's saying here it's ability damage. It should be a full one. So let's get out of Vala. And actually, versus single target, I don't know how hard we're gonna... Wait, that's an ally Vala. Nope. Nope. No. No. Other way around. Wait, who am I fighting now? Arthas. Arthas, hang on. Hang on. Hang on. We're replacing you. You're not even supposed to be here. Get back. Go be Vala. What do you do? You're ulting. There you go. There you go. Now you're a Vala. Okay. Up to 50. So we got to get 5 hits on her before she gets the drippies. Okay, she has the drippies. And the drippies, and the drippies, and there's the big... Oh, what? I think she's a little confused. Attack me, Vala. Vala, where'd you go? Okay. There she... Vala, are you okay? Okay, there we go. All right, so those are big girl Vala hits. They hurt. Those still hurt, but do hurt less. So it appears to be a full-blown 50% less damage, even though the notice is only on the spell. I don't think we have a notice to decrease spell or auto-attack power, though. I guess it would have been easier to give Diablo 50 armor, but instead we're giving it to allies, which is a good thing. That's a good thing. It's a good talent on Rework, too. So it looks pretty reliable that I can, with this sort of vacuum back, guarantee that I'm going to hit the multi-hit. Can I get it in the first go, though? No. Is that for sure? Because if that's for sure, then I am doing a 50% Vala. I'm going to go down here. I'm doing a 50% decrease like 2 seconds after when I'm actually in need of it. Because if I were to activate this, I want to say this guy. How if I really get in here. I've got him already pre-selected. It's only 75. And we're not going over 25. 25 or more. So our initial cast can't complete it. Even if I'm like, can I get any more inside this guy? There we go. What about that? There we go. Okay. So if I'm really, really, really up inside them, I can decrease. I mean, it's a 4-second decrease, 50%. That's a big deal. Tyrannos will own you with that sort of thing in quick match. But we're going to have to really be up on our targets. Maybe that isn't so hard if I factor in that I've already slammed them into a wall, maybe? Oh. Nope, I missed. Okay, oop. There we go.
Rework did nothing wrong saying, maybe if you W, charge away and flip into the flames.
Wait. Oh! Oh! That's a cool idea. Okay. So yeah, because you're right. You're solving an issue that I'm thinking about, is that on engagement, I want them already at below maximum damage. So what if... So I spawned 5, right? 5 balls. And I gotta hit 5 of them. So if I do that, and then get this guy... No, we hit 4. I guess we'd have to be pretty careful on it. Let's do it one more time. Okay, that worked. That actually did work. We do more damage this way, but not that much, actually. And if we're going for a full debilitate... Actually, that one didn't even, because there's too much wiggle room. So, unreliable. You are unreliable, sir. Unreliable. You can't trust it. I don't trust it.
Choose a talent.
But cute. A cute cap to the flame build. And if you're in a team fight, right? I mean, what? Right? You're gonna be like soul shield. You're gonna have all this stuff. There's gonna be maybe a flame breath, I guess. And we do spell power, and we've got that same. So if we're doing, we got resets on stuns. So I'm here, and I'm like, slam, whole team fight, bam, and I'm like, slam, and I'm like, oh, slam. I mean, all these people in the back line are slowed for an extended fight. So maybe if we enter more of a double support meta, if we enter maybe a more sustained-based meta, certainly in a double tank kind of situation that we have right now, we have fights lasting long enough that can allow for this sort of play style. So, okay, yeah, sure, why not? I still think you'll just explode, and isn't it nice to dominate and actually kill the person you get a hold of, but, well, you got new Devastate charge, so maybe that's not as reliable anymore. Very interesting, though.
Choose a talent.
Never die.
Choose a talent. Choose a talent. Choose a talent. Choose a talent.
Ben Moth is wondering, does that talent stack with other slows, though?
No, because slows do not stack, unless it says that it is a personal thing like this. So here, we are stacking up to 50% for Diablo. But if Jaina ran in here, her slow would be buried underneath the additional slow. And actually, if you look at my channel here, I posted a video about CC stacking just yesterday, and they override each other. So a 75% slow would just come in and not delete, but override Diablo's 50% slow. If the 75% slow ended early, the Diablo slow would keep going for its duration, however much it has left, and then end there. So we're not able to stack these up, even though the language kind of makes it sound like that might be viable. Any big level 20 changes outside of the Lightning Breath, which we already tried? Dying Breath now reduces Apocalypse cooldown by 20 seconds for each enemy hero hit to a minimum cooldown of 5 seconds, rather than reducing its cooldown by a static amount. How long is my cooldown on Apocalypse? 100 seconds? Okay. So a full team takes me to that... Wait a minute. No, because it's 20 seconds. We got a 5 of a 20. Oh, yeah. So that does work. Okay. Neat. Hellstorm. No longer increases Lightning Breath's range, but you get that bonus duration by 200%. And Lord of Terror now grants 5 souls per enemy hero hit. Actually, that's kind of worth testing. Not because I think we'll feel different about it, but you know, let's say I'm having a rough Diablo day. And you know, I just love dying on Diablo. I just love giving away XP. So, you know what? I'm not concerned about my souls at all. Whenever I stun somebody, I'll get some health back. Whenever I'm not going to be at maximum souls ever. Actually, these are all benefiting from maximum souls except for this one. Heals an additional. Okay, so I get some souls back there. This is resets on flame stomps, so unrelated to my souls. I guess all these are kind of what-if statements except for maybe my malevolence? No, I want souls. So we're going to do that. We're going to get, I guess we'll skip shadow power maybe. Cruelty, attack speed, hellfire. Attack speed. That's the auto attack build. This gets kind of messy actually. And then I want double overpowers so that I can get the most out of that, and then Lord of Terror. Okay, cool. So this is my I don't like souls build, and I'm going to die a lot. I have 2 charges of overpower, and whenever I get a stun, I get more flames. So let's see how many souls I can get versus this many enemies in an engagement. What's my area? Okay, so I got to be in the middle of these guys. All right, so I jump in, and I'm like, brah, souls. All the souls. I guess I... Oh, wait, there's my second charge. Yes. And then more souls. 32 souls. 32 souls in a little pile without hitting any walls, and we didn't take any talents that encouraged me to hit people into walls in the first place. With 2 charges to make sure that I have a secondary stun, since I'm not worrying about walls. On a minute cooldown, though... 30 souls isn't bad for an engagement, right? I guess. You're level 20. I mean, you're just... I guess. You could just be dead, though, right? And we don't have soul shield. We have this heal, which does help with our double stacks. I feel really awful even suggesting anybody should not worry about ever hitting people into walls. But you know what? I mean, in this sort of equation, I guess it's not such a big deal.
And question for you about engagement. Lord Boo goes, if you're planning on just initiating on Diablo, why wouldn't you go Dying Breath?
Right? That's a great question. We're getting actually a pretty good number of souls here. So if you're initiating, actually, can we test this? In previous patches, in the past few patches, Apocalypse hasn't worked on test dummies. No, though Vala got stunned. Nice job, Vala. So we did stun her, and we took 10 seconds off with a cast time of about 2 seconds. With looking up at her by the time it exploded, we got about 25 seconds, 20 seconds off.
Pardon me, I misspoke. Not initiating, intentionally dying. So if you're planning on just intentionally dying on Diablo, why wouldn't you go Dying Breath?
Because this is giving me... So, actually, let's test that too. Reset talents. How many flat souls is... Because I'm thinking you're dying so much that you're like, oh man! I mean, sure, a 10% steal of their maximum health nearby heroes is entirely comp dependent, but what if I just do this? So that's 20 souls. That's a pretty big amount of progress, even if the damage has never been perhaps as scary as the text had made it seem. So you can get another res, right? Like, you're not wrong. If you're just going to die a whole bunch, why not have a whole bunch of apocalypses going off? Plus,
choose a talent.
If you hit your dying breath and then you die, don't you get a cooldown reset, right? Okay. Let's do enemy hero Lost Vikings. And maybe it'll hit 2 Lost Vikings. And that's maybe the max amount we could expect an apocalypse to hit, with me controlling one person in a CC pile and then the rest all going to random hits. So I'm here. I'm in a, I'm in a team fight. I'm in a big old team fight. Okay, there's the Lost Vikings hanging out in lane. So let's go ahead and hook them up with one of these. Okay, we hit 3, so I get a pretty decent cooldown. And then I die.
You have been slain.
Then it goes off again, decreasing my cooldown for the rest of it, actually. So I res based on my souls with another apocalypse ready to go,